Alright guys, welcome back to another one. So today we've got quite the interesting topic to talk about. There has recently been a bit of a debate, a bit of a discussion sort of circulating online to do with Kingdom Hearts. This is the most up-to-date recent one. The last one had us talking about the preferred Kingdom Hearts shortcut setup and whether or not Cure should go on X or triangle. This time around, we're talking about the Kingdom Hearts play order. Kingdom Hearts is a franchise that has many installments, and it's not like each installment is its own self-contained story. Every single installment is important to the overarching story of the entire franchise. And because there are so many installments for a newcomer coming into the series, it can be a little bit overwhelming to know exactly where to start and in what order should they play the games, especially considering that Kingdom Hearts has this habit of using decimal point numbering and a bunch of subtitles for the different installments. I can't imagine how absolutely chaotic this might be, just because I've looked at the Tales series or I've looked at the Yakuza games, and I have thought to myself the exact same thing. What is the play order? As much as it can be obvious by just following the games from 1 through upwards, when you start getting into subtitles and especially decimal points, that's where things get confusing. But the reason why this has blown up into such a conversation recently is because of this tweet right here posted by Cherethes. She originally said, Square Enix, don't do this, with a screenshot ripped from the suggested play order blog post that Square Enix posted quite some time ago, mentioning that there is no correct place to start the Kingdom Hearts series. Naturally, a lot of people were like, what? It does leave you scratching your head a little bit when the actual creators of this massive spanning RPG with hundreds of hours of story content that is very story focused pretty much says, yeah, I mean, you know, like if you want to start with the most recent game that we developed, go hard. Like, that's fine. However, there is actually a meaning behind why Square Enix are saying this. Now, while I started my Kingdom Hearts journey with Kingdom Hearts 1, as it came with my PlayStation 2 when I got it when I was only 5 years old, I've come to find out through this tweet that a lot of people's first experience with the Kingdom Hearts franchise, in fact, wasn't with Kingdom Hearts 1. And rather, for a lot of people, their first Kingdom Hearts game was, I primarily see Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, or the DS Kingdom Hearts games, looking at either Recoded or Days. From the enjoyable experience they found within those games, they then decided to explore this series a little bit more so. And I think this is what Square Enix are basically trying to say. Start at any point you want. If you find enjoyment from that point, then you can start going through the game, preferably via story order, starting with Kingdom Hearts 1, so that you can get the proper grasp of what's happening throughout this narrative. I feel like this tweet is perhaps just maybe a little bit misleading, because it comes across as Square Enix trying to suggest that people should just jump in absolutely anywhere. Hey, you want to jump into the point where Kingdom Hearts introduced time traveling, dream drop distance? Okay. Go hard. What about starting with that one game where the main character suffers from amnesia? Well, you know, you could start with the mobile phone game that just simply doesn't exist anymore. However, if you look at the proper blog post in its entirety, not just one snippet cut from it, you'll notice that Square Enix have properly ordered all of the Kingdom Hearts games. Hell, they even released a video this year with the release of the Kingdom Hearts games on Steam with a proper video talking about the actual play order of the Dark Seeker saga. Even if a franchise has prequels where it will jump back in time, generally those are there to explain certain things that will then happen in a future installment or an installment that you've already experienced. The same kind of goes with Kingdom Hearts. While you could play the prequel titles that take place before Kingdom Hearts 1, and admittedly I have done that, and it's a very interesting way to experience Kingdom Hearts' story, it then means that the mysteries that linger via the proper play order aren't as cool or don't have the same impact for when you finally go to that prequel after playing a game set further along the actual timeline and finding out that, oh, okay, this is why character A, B, C, and D did such and such, or they have this power or ability. It just hits a lot harder. It is certainly funny seeing this like completely out of context, because it just genuinely does seem as if Square Enix like, it doesn't matter, you know, this isn't a hefty story focused game or anything. But I started thinking about it. If I were to try and convince someone to get into the Kingdom Hearts games, I probably wouldn't start them off with Kingdom Hearts 1. I'm obviously going to serve them up the most enjoyable experience from a gameplay perspective, because that is key number one. In order to get someone involved into a franchise, game in question, they've got no idea about its characters, its story. The only thing that's going to keep them there initially is if the actual gameplay is fun. Looking at the way Kingdom Hearts 1 plays, as much as I love this game, like I really honestly love this game, it has aged a little bit, and it's most certainly not a great demonstration of the potential of the Kingdom Hearts games from a gameplay perspective. So I would either start someone fresh into the series on Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts 3, or Birth by Sleep. Possibly maybe Dream Drop Distance. Those three are some great starting points to give a really good example of some of the best gameplay on offer for this franchise. Even though BBS can be like a little bit hit and miss, especially looking at like those secret bosses, they're just not balanced at all in the slightest. I would have to explain that to the person. The secret bosses suck. However, I feel like all of the games are pretty laid out in a very easy fashion. I mean, when you compare this, like these are all of the Kingdom Hearts games you currently need. Compared to back in the day when we were sitting in a situation like this, I mean, how absolutely f***ing ridiculous is this for a newcomer to get into the series? We've got like multiple different platforms here, 4 to be precise. And Square Enix always knew that this was an issue. The accessibility of the Kingdom Hearts games was never a good thing when they started to put all of these subtitled entries on multiple different handheld systems. What they've been working towards over the past decade is making it so that the Kingdom Hearts games are basically all in one place. And the order of the games are laid out in like the most obvious fashion possible. I mean, it's literally starting with this one first because it's 1.5 plus 2.5. Starting at the top of the game selection screen, working your way down. You then move over to this one, which is 2.8 because that's more than 2.5. Start from left to right. I mean, the game selection literally defaults you to this. Then you move on to this one because, you know, it's 3, which is more than 2.8. You finish up that one and then you move over to Melody and Memory. Looking at Union Cross or Dark Road, those are where it gets a little bit interesting. And at that point, you're only going to experience those games if you're hardcore into the actual narrative of Kingdom Hearts. I feel like it's probably best to experience those games after you've experienced everything else the Kingdom Hearts games has to offer. Because looking at the narrative of UX in Dark Road, it assumes that you already know a certain amount about Kingdom Hearts. Now true, you could start with the story of UX and then move into Dark Road if you want to do story chronological order. Again, I have done this, and it's a very interesting way of perceiving the Kingdom Hearts story, but finding out about those mysteries just doesn't hit as hard. We basically experienced the story as we were leading up to Kingdom Hearts 3. There are perhaps some things in Kingdom Hearts 3 that might leave you wondering, what's this about? If you don't know anything to do with Key, but if you've at least experienced back cover, which you will do by playing 2.8, then you should have an idea as to what at least some of the stuff that's happening towards the end portions of Kingdom Hearts 3 is all about. So for anyone new jumping in, yeah, I would honestly suggest doing UX and Dark Road, the mobile phone games, after the rest of the Kingdom Hearts games. The order, I feel, is pretty straightforward. I mean, some people have some crazy orders where they'll, I don't know, start with Melody of Memory and then go back to Chain of Memories and jump up to Dream Drop Distance and then go back down to 1 and then jump over to UX and then jump all the way back up to Kingdom Hearts Days. Maybe starting with back cover and ending with Dream Drop Distance after I've played Kingdom Hearts 3 secondly is like the best way to experience it. I don't fucking know. Oh guys, just wanted to throw my 2 cents into the situation, just considering that this has been the topic of Kingdom Hearts conversation recently. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to slap a like on today's video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Massive thank you to my wonderful patrons. I hope each and every one of you are having a fantastic day. You better be having a fantastic day, and we'll talk again real soon.